Hey everybody, welcome back. In this assignment, we're going over a database that we designed in order to manage our books and our book reviews. So let's dive into this. So first, we implemented a database schema. We designed the schema and included the tables for the books, the authors, reviews, and the users, as we can see on the screen. And for each of the tables, we wanted to make sure that we had all of the attributes put in place. So like in the table for the books, we had the book title, the author names, and review, and the review text. So I want to make sure that for each of the tables we had the appropriate data types and constraints. So for example, in the table for the books, we have the book ID, and we included a big integer or big int. And this was, for example, if we wanted to use the ISBN number that is typically used for like libraries, or if you go on Amazon and you're looking for a book ID, it's usually a large number. So that was why we used that data type. We wanted to make sure that whatever data types we were using for any of these, ended up making sense. For example, the Varchar 50, we've got for the book titles can tend to be kind of long, so we want to make sure we have enough characters available. And then for the book summary and content, I ended up using the maximum number, which if you have a large summary or a large the actual volume of the book, it's going to be a lot of characters. And in this case, I allowed null for the book summary and the author ID. And like this can be changed later on, but this allows for having an empty space where something is. So if there isn't a summary available, or if there's no author ID available, which I did end up filling in, but further along, like with the book reviews, initially you may not have any book reviews, so having a null may make sense. And then down the road you can change that after the reviews start to come in, so that you don't want it to be empty afterwards. And for the authors table, made sure that I had an author ID, so that's the primary key. First name, last name, birth date. I added a nationality, so if you wanted to know what country they came from, that was included. And then a short biography, again using the Varchar max, so that I could include a decent amount of background for these fictional authors. And then for the users, use the user ID for the primary key. Created a username, email, password, first name, last name, and when they registered their account, which is also fictional. So then I ended up populating each of these tables, and you can see, like, for the users, there's 10 users, which was part of the requirement for the assignment. So we had to have at least 5 books, 3 authors, and 10 reviews. And what I ended up doing was I kept the 5 books that I originally had for the previous assignments. I added 5 authors, 1 for each of the books, and then 10 reviews. So 10 different users across the 5 books, 2 reviews per book. I kept it even. Here's the table for each of the books. I inserted all the information for the book summary, the book content, and then I associated the author ID. And this is a foreign key. And one thing I wanted to note in this video, I try to do the foreign key for between the book reviews and the table users, and for some reason the program that I'm using, the Server Management Studio, didn't like it, wouldn't let me save, and it blew out all of those associations. So I'm going to have to go back through and redo that. I'm not sure why it didn't like it, but it would not save it, and kicked all of that out. Now, it did keep it between the table books and the table authors, so there was something between these 2 tables that it wouldn't allow me to do. Anyway, and then here's all of the authors. Each one of them has their own little biography, which, you know, is kind of neat. All of this was AI generated, as we did for the book content in the first couple assignments. I did the same thing to create, you know, their names, their birth dates, their nationality, and their biography. I did the same thing for the users. I got their, you know, first name, last name, random registration dates, their fictitious passwords, and for their username and email. I just kind of made that up myself. And finally, this is the review table. So you've got the review ID, which gives you 1 through 10, the book ID, which is associated with the book. So you'll see that they're paired up in 2 and 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, etc. User ID is also 1 through 10, so that matches up with the review ID. But in one of the other tables, it may not be as neat as this, because the user ID, down the road, you could end up having the same user reviewing other books. So then this 1 through 10 isn't going to be so neat. It'll eventually, start to become more random as users read more books and post more reviews. And then the actual review text of, reviewer 1, mind-bending sci-fi thrill ride unveiling the vortex, which was, the name of the book, blah, 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 and so forth. So, and as you can see at the top here, we've got the select statement, which is data query language, DQL. And this statement is part of the SQL's or SQL's data query language, and this is for doing queries and retrieving data from the databases. So for each of these tables, when you select the top 1,000, this is the language that's used in order to retrieve information from the database. So for this class, we didn't end up getting into queries. I think that's going to end up happening in the next class. So check back next time. I'm going to have another video probably in about a week, and hit the like button, and I will see you all next time.